Chefs. I'm your host, Eddie Sell, and I will take you on a journey with America's chefs, firefighters, service industry professionals, and more as we discuss food, recipes, nutrition, and lifestyle topics. Stay tuned and enjoy the ride. Welcome to FireHouse Chefs Radio, everybody. I'm your host, Eddie Sell, and I'm joined by the FireHouse Chefs team. Sitting to my right, we have George Rojas, and sitting to my left, we have Chef Don Heiser. So this is a huge and exciting day for us, so we're really happy to be here on FHC Radio. Today's show is going to be a little bit of a loose format. We just kind of want to give you guys an opportunity to feel out what the show is going to be about, what FireHouse Chefs is all about, and ultimately where you can tune in every Wednesday and kind of learn some kitchen tips, learn things from different chefs, culinary professionals, firefighters from around the country, purveyors, and also nutritionists, all kinds of stuff. So it's ultimately it's going to be a lifestyle show with the inspiration of the FireHouse Chefs. So that's, in a nutshell, what we are all about. So, guys, thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you for having us, Eddie.
So a quick little background about myself. I am a captain with the Southern California Fire Department. Also went to culinary school in the U.S. Navy 20 years ago. Currently own Firehouse Chefs, LLC. We have a gourmet food truck, a catering business, our own spices and sauces, and soon to be, hopefully, trucks all over the United States and restaurants as well. Firehouse Chefs was basically, I kind of came up with the inspiration for this years ago, and it was because I could see the need to just kind of let the community know that there are firefighters like myself all over the country that just had really, really good cooking skills. Either they went to culinary school or they had a really interesting story. And I wanted to kind of bring that to the forefront. And today's fire service is also very, very diverse. So because of the diversity, we're eating a lot of different dishes. We're eating healthier. And I think that just really resonates with the American family out there. So it's a huge part of our day in the fire station. And I always wanted to bring that to light and show people that we kind of get together as a family at the firehouse, learn about one another. We train. We kind of, let our stress down from some of the things that we see on a day-to-day basis. So that's basically what Firehouse Chefs is all about. And then now moving into this whole realm, Firehouse Chefs Radio is going to give you, everybody out there in the community, the opportunity to feel a part of it and kind of, call in, ask questions about what firefighters do at the firehouse as far as cooking or how some things work out. And you're going to hear some really, really interesting stories. When I kind of started the whole pursuit of this, I was taken back by some of the people that I met all around the country that, from a guest that we're going to have later tonight, for example, that went to culinary school in Paris, France, to people that, own their own barbecue businesses in Texas or have had some sort of, media presence in New York City or beyond. So there's really, really interesting stories, not only about cooking, but just firefighters in general and what they do on a day-to-day basis. And we're really hoping that's kind of our goal, is to bring some of that stuff to light and let everybody see that and experience it. So with that, I want to introduce Chef Don Heiser. And Chef, if you can just go ahead and let the folks know a little bit about yourself.
Sure, thank you, Eddie. I'm Don Heiser. I'm a retired fire chief out of a Southern California Fire Department, and after retirement was asked to help out another department. I'm looking at 43 years in the fire service. I went to culinary school about 20 years ago, graduated with a certificate in culinary arts. To me, the culinary world is not so different from the fire service. It's all about producing something for somebody. When we're riding an engine company or truck company or we're on the medic unit, we're out there providing a service to our citizens. In the culinary world, our citizens, our customers are coming to us, and we put forth that same level. We're out there taking the best possible ingredients, the best possible recipes, that are tested by our culinary team here, and that's what we're putting out when we cater. We have a set menu for the most part on our food truck, but that same attitude that when we come off an engine company, a truck company, we're carrying forward onto our food truck, and we're giving something to our customers that's tried and true and that comes with our love of what we do. And one thing I do want to say is the CEO of our company, Eddie Sell, when he was in the Navy and the Navy sent him to culinary school, he's being a little modest here. He ended up being discovered by an admiral, and he cooked for that admiral. And if any of you out there have been in the Navy or any kind, you know when a senior officer like that finds you and does not let you go. So our chef leading this team is an outstanding culinary professional as well as an outstanding captain. Chef,
Thank you. I'll give you the money after the show. That was really nice of you. Thank you very
good.
much.
I might have gas to get home.
So, and I'll after we introduce Mijo here, George, we'll kind of get into everyone's roles a little bit more within Firehouse Chefs and the company. So, George.
All right, good evening. My name is George Rojas, and I'm with CAL FIRE Riverside County Fire Department. Been on the job for 16 years, and I'm currently a captain on the hazmat team. I've known Eddie for about 15 of those 16 years. We started together down in San Diego, and got to taste some of his food down there. Unlike both chefs to my left, I have no culinary experience. I've learned all my cooking from Mama Rojas at home. And cooking to me is all about family, and that's where I get my experience is, again, from Mama Rojas, helping her cook when I was growing up, and now, like I said, cooking's about family. At the Firehouse, it's all about family. We are a family there. It's our second family. It's our home away from home, and we have to eat. We have to sustain ourselves. Like Eddie said, we work out, we live there, and we also have to eat. So cooking brings the station together, and it's part of the station life. So I'm happy to be a part of Firehouse Chefs, and I'm glad I'm here.
Thank you very much. It means a lot for you guys to be here tonight. And we'll kind of get into this, but we've had quite the ride. We've kind of joked at the end of this thing we're going to be able to do a VH1 behind the music with all the crap we've been through. So it's been an interesting ride, but I'm glad that we're still here. Let's turn it over to Mr. Johnson. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, Darnell.
Darnell Johnson. Work for a Compton Fire Department. Currently assigned as a firefighter medic right now. Been on the job about 9 years. Like Mr. Rojas, no professionally trained, but kind of self-taught. Mine kind of started when I was a rookie. The senior guys told me to get in the kitchen and cook. And I wasn't really good at it, never really had to cook for anybody because I grew up with a big family and mom and did all the cooking. So first couple meals, they didn't like it. Told me on my 4-day, go buy a cookbook and you need to get better. And that's what I did. I literally every 4-day, I got a cookbook. I tried different recipes, and pretty soon I started duplicating and started throwing my own little twists on recipes. And for me, it started to it was something I really liked doing. It was therapeutic for me. And I remember when I first seen a Firehouse Chef down in San Diego about 3 or 4 years ago, and I seen Eddie, and one of the guys I work with, he was cooking with Firehouse Chefs, and I seen the guys, and they look real professional, chef's coat out there, looking pretty good. And I tasted the food, and it was just awesome. And I knew then I wanted to be a part of Firehouse Chef, so that's how I'm here today.
Very cool. Yeah, we're totally happy to have you and get a little Compton soul on board with Firehouse Chefs. It's been good. And again, I kind of point to that diversity that we have. It's been a huge message that I've tried to convey from the inception of Firehouse Chefs, and you'll basically see it when we start discussing more about our dishes and our actual gourmet food truck. The menu is 100% inspired by firefighters, and that's what makes this project so near and dear to all of us here. Everything literally has a message. So let's start, before we go into the commercial break, we'll start kind of talking a little bit more about, some of the things that FireHouse Chefs has done so folks out there can know. I would basically describe us now as a multimedia company where we have different divisions, if you will. We have the gourmet food truck, we have the catering business, the spices, our own signature sauces, and we also have some media projects with obviously FHC radio being one of them. We also have a television show concept called FireHouse Chefs, which has been interesting, trying to get that made, but I think eventually that'll happen. We also have a fitness and wellness endeavor called 4Bell Fitness, and that's something that's going to be a big part of this show as well. Fitness, wellness, it goes hand in hand with eating. And one of the things that we want to talk about here on FireHouse Chefs Radio is the fact that balance and moderation. And that's basically the way we feel about food. We're going to give folks choices, and ultimately I think it's, the more informed you are, the more choices you have, that's going to, give you a better decision-making process for yourself. So there's going to be some very healthy stuff, and there's going to be some not so healthy stuff. But obviously, as long as you have a balanced diet, working out, and as I mentioned, we're going to have some personal trainers, nutritionists, and people in the fitness world, all that stuff. We're going to cover all our bases here, and it's going to be fun and very, very insightful. And I think folks that tune in are going to find that out. So once we come back from the break, we're going to actually have some of our other FireHouse Chef team members, and we'll start kind of diving into some of what we do on the food truck and catering side of things. And later on, we're actually going to be demonstrating some knife skills and showing some dicing and slicing. And again, kind of every week, we're going to do some sort of how-to, so folks out there in the community can learn a little bit of something. And you might want to stay tuned as well, because it is live, and hopefully everybody walks away with all their fingers and toes tonight. Don't burn anything down. FireHouse Chefs will be right back.
Wow, y'all listening to Rant Radio Network. Unpredictably entertaining. Wow.
All right, parents, if you have kids in sports, then you need to listen to Kids in Sports with Coach Mike every Tuesday from 9 to 11 on the Rant Radio Network. We'll be talking softball and much more. Help your kids succeed. Teach first, win later. Coach Mike here. We'll see you on Tuesday in the Rant Radio Network.
Dirty Truth Radio Show, where we'll be talking about relationships,
marriage,
how to have sex,
dating,
first dating,
what not to do while dating.
why middle-aged women are very easy,
Don't talk about sex on the first date.
why shouldn't you,
Don't say X about on the first date.
why religion should never be mentioned,
And demasculate.
and demasculating men,
Alpha males.
and alpha male. Why women love alpha males but won't admit it.
Yes, we do.
On Tuesdays from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. only on RantRadioNetwork.com.
You're listening to the Mommy Talk, a place where mommies,
and don't forget dads,
can share their everyday accomplishments
and challenges, y mucho más. So tune in every Friday here at RantRadioNetwork.com from 11 through 12.
And don't forget to call in at 855-969-RANT. The number is 855-969-RANT.
You can follow us on Facebook at The Mommy Talk Show.
See you then.
You're listening to What Honesty Feels Like with Christine Sawicki, that airs every Tuesday from 8 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can catch us on rantradionetwork.com. If you're one of the most successful people in the world, I want to talk to you. I want to know how you got there, where you're going, and who you're giving back to. So call me at 855-969-7268 and check in with me, the most successful people in the world.
A home is the biggest investment in most people's lives. Buying or selling should be a positive experience.
Whether you want to be a wealthy real estate investor or just trying to find a place to call home. At AJR & Associates, we focus on the client's needs.
We understand the market better than most. Let us bring the value to you and make the right choice.
AJR & Associates, making your dream house a reality. Call us today for a free consultation at 562-842-7149. Or you can log on to www.agrrealtors.com.
With a track record of great results, bringing knowledge, wisdom, and expertise to you. Hablamos español.
Welcome to FireHouse Chefs. I'm your host, Eddie Sell, and I will take you on a journey with America's chefs, firefighters, service industry professionals, and more as we discuss food, recipes, nutrition, and lifestyle topics. Stay tuned and enjoy the ride. I love that song. Welcome back to FHC Radio. So now we are actually joined by the backbone of the Los Angeles FHC food truck. We love to call them the Three Amigos. and really, just like...
Thanks, Joey.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll talk about Joey. Joey was going to be here tonight, but eventually you folks out there in the FHC community world, you'll get to meet Joey. I think he's on duty today somewhere in San Diego. Anyhow, just like my day job, without a good crew, I'm truly nothing. So these guys, I don't even have to worry when I know the Three Amigos are working the truck, and they're out there doing their thing and representing FHC, representing our high standards, our professionalism, our pride, and what's the other one?
As professional pride and
there you go.
There you go.
Perfect.
You were supposed to learn that in school.
So,
was that the only B you got in class?
Yeah, pretty much.
Come on, you guys should have been professionalism, pride, and reputation.
Right.
The Three Amigos. Sounding off.
They went to culinary school, not a fire academy.
We'll work on that.
Well, and that's what and that kind of brings up why we wanted to number one. These guys deserve a lot of credit, and without them working on the truck every day and representing FireHouse Chefs and our company, we truly wouldn't be anything. So I appreciate every single person within the organization, and these guys know that they've we've seen a lot of ups and downs, that's for sure, but they certainly see the trajectory that we're on right now. So it's a very cool and exciting time. But that's what FireHouse Chefs is all about, as far as the business side of things, and in even the whole inspiration behind it is the fact that, like in the last segment, we kind of found out that George and Darnell, they don't have any formal culinary training, but as firefighters, we literally have to cook, every day, and nobody really cares whether or not you learned or not. You better get in there and figure something out. And but the fact with FireHouse Chefs on the food truck, for example, even though the whole inspiration is the firefighter theme and all that, these guys all went to culinary school, and that's what makes them basically making sure that the menu's on point, the dishes are on point, the food tastes great, everything, and because they have that culinary knowledge. And it's very, very cool, because when we do events and we kind of combine their culinary talents with the guys that have not gone to school, it's literally like, training at the fire station and getting to kind of learn from somebody that, knows a certain skill or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it's very cool. They have learned a lot about firefighters, I would say, right? Yeah. Since you guys came on. Yeah. Now these guys know the difference between a fire engine compared to a ladder truck. Exactly. And they came in the little small one compared to the long one where a guy's riding in the back, How
many guys are in the crew?
Yeah, exactly. Now these guys, they actually have a working knowledge of the fire service, and vice versa. When some of my firefighters, from FireHouse Chefs that didn't go to culinary school, they can go to the Three Amigos with a question about, whether it's, learning how to braise versus, roasting, or any of these different cooking techniques. Mm-hmm. So why don't we start off with Chef Asbel?
Well, Chef Eddie, let's jump in. I'm going to, just for a minute, for the people out there in Radio Land.
Wait a minute. Look, this is what you get for that, Chef Don.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, I'm blaming Caesar for it. See, there it is. There it is. Hey, for all the people out in Radio Land there, one of the things we're going to be able to offer is don't think you can't cook, or if you're worried about a recipe, give us a call. We can talk you through it. We can give you tips. We can do that for you. We can.
Or we could tell you where the closest In-N-Out is.
Or
I think that's the beauty of both professions is you have to be a quick learner, and I think in both professions we are quick learners.
And that's exactly it.
That's what
you got to learn how to think on the fly. You got to learn what to do, what not to do, and you can't, like Eddie. Remember, I still remember this to this day. You said you got to be like a duck. Have you ever seen a duck swim?
Yes.
On the outside,
calm,
cool. But you
and
put your
underneath,
hand, exactly 100 miles per hour, baby, and that's exactly what a chef and a firefighter is. You know what I mean?
Totally.
You can't break under pressure.
Right.
And that's the cool thing about being a cook is seeing 100 tickets down the line, and you can't break down and start crying. You gotta push through it and let's go, baby. You know what I mean?
That's exactly right. Yeah. And these guys have a great attitude. I mean, they step up. We just actually catered a wedding the other day for 110 people, and we get slammed. And these guys, it's the same thing. A firefighter doesn't wish harm upon anybody, but it's one of those things that we train, hours upon hours to make sure that we're at the top of our game, for that disaster or for that, that bad day. A chef does the same thing. We obviously prepare to get, to be slammed, and that's what we kind of live for. We want to get, slammed and really have to be on our toes and see if we can execute. So it's great. So,
and by the way, with those 100 tickets, I wasn't crying. I was cutting onions.
Damn. All right, so let's go ahead and, and I know Ephraim has a little bit of a sore throat, so it's not just his sexy voice tonight. That's
later tonight. That's later tonight.
I don't want to hear about what you guys do when you're off the clock. You know what I mean? I guess it's the two amigos. When you guys leave. But why don't we, tell everybody out there in the FHC community what it's like for you guys and some of the differences that you found. Like maybe restaurant world compared to the gourmet food truck world. And all of you guys collectively, anybody could answer. It doesn't matter.
Well, actually, I would like to start off. If that's okay with you guys.
Yeah, that's fine.
The difference between a food truck and the restaurant is they're not stuck in between four walls all day, every day. And then within the food truck, you get to travel. And that's what I like most about the food truck is that seeing new places, experiencing new environments, and then not only, and I actually get to see my customers. When you're in the restaurant, you just see the tickets and that's it.
True.
And then when you get an order and you see the customer, what he looks like, what she looks like, and that's what I like about it.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, you not only get to see them, but if they have anything good to say about your food, you can actually hear them.
True.
Exactly.
And not just someone else tell you, oh yeah, they like that. You can personally listen to them, what they liked, what they didn't like, what you could do better.
Exactly.
Right.
So I mean, it's all great.
Yeah, good. Sees the man, a few words.
All right. Well, basically what they just said too. It's really great to be everywhere because in a restaurant you're not gonna see that kind of stuff. It's not gonna happen. But
it's very, very true. These guys can they can kind of attest to the fact that we've actually done some very, very cool things within the last year. We've found ourselves in cooking for celebrities, doing a lot of TV shows. We do a ton of stuff for charity, so we do a lot of very, very rewarding things. And because of that, we don't take it lightly that we represent the fire service, and people out there, community, really they respect that, obviously. And so every time that we try to do anything, we always embody the best of what the fire service has to offer. The reason why, I think maybe before the fire department started getting, very political or, full of haters or whatever, it's the reason why I became a firefighter. It's the reason why some of these guys, Don here seated to my left, or Jorge in the back of the room, the people that we, George and I, our era, I think, grew up with, instilled, the passion, the hard work ethic, the reason why we became firefighters, and they definitely kind of shaped, who I became, and I'm very, very appreciative, and that's the whole point of, Firehouse Chefs. That's another big thing is the giving back aspect. So
Exactly.
it's huge to all of us. Why don't we talk about some of your guys' individual talents? What you really enjoy doing in culinary school. Obviously, we know Caesar is, he's a huge baker, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Even pastries, I'm proficient in that too. So I get to haven't done that really on the food truck yet, but in the future, I really hope that we could do that too.
Oh yeah, forget the pan bimbo. It's gonna be it's gonna be pan Caesar. No, we have big plans. These guys are all part of it.
Yeah, well, actually, little backstory about us.
Mhm.
We actually went to the same culinary program, same year, same instructor. Can we give a shout out or?
Absolutely.
Chef Michael Perini, Cerritos
Yeah,
College.
I'm still waiting for that phone call. Mike. Still waiting for that phone call.
Chef Perini, he's a really cool guy, man. We learned a lot from him. So if someone to thank, it's definitely him, because he's the one that we're here. He's the one that was breathing behind our necks, like, yo, that's not how you do it. This is how you do it.
Right.
And then, like you said, like in a fire station, you need the guy next to you. That's how we are. That's why we are the three amigos, because I can't do it without these two guys
Exactly.
to my right. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I'm very appreciative of Perini and these guys, and then we work off of each other. So that's definitely positive upside.
Okay, we got about a minute and a half. I'm curious to know, what did you find the most challenging, any of you, in culinary school?
The most challenging.
The most challenging.
For me, it definitely was serve safe. Just the temperatures. When you're a cook, you can see, like, oh, that's done, but they want it written down on the paper.
Mhm.
Meat is 165, chicken is 175 and above. Don't quote me on those. I may not be too sure.
I'm sure. Actually, executive chef Matt Briggs, who's going to be a guest on a future show, he's probably listening right now.
Right.
Relax, Asbel. Don't take it out on the mic, man.
Yeah, just because you blew the temperatures, I mean, don't
you
ruin the
can't,
mic.
you can't check the temperature on the microphone.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all good. Yeah, from now on, let's not quote any numbers on the
Any
show.
numbers, please. Sorry.
unless you happen to have your cheat sheet right there. Yeah.
Nice one.
What about you, Efren?
I would say just keeping your head straight, getting through. When you turn around and you see all the tickets line up, you see expediters, the chef, everyone yell at you because you're behind or customers are waiting, they're impatient. It's just keeping your head straight, like you said, not breaking down, not crying, not giving up, just pushing through and getting the job done.
Yep. Do you guys remember, do you have an experience on the truck where it was probably like the busiest time or something that, you guys looked out the window and said, holy heck.
Moolah. Moolah.
Oh, okay. All right.
The wrestling.
That's
wrestling
the Museum of Latin American Art in Long Beach. And we're after the commercial break, we'll kind of get back into some of this, and we might get a surprise phone call or two. You're listening to FHC Radio. Don't burn anything down. Firehouse Chefs will be right back.
News in America. Tonight's headline story, Rant Radio Network. Miss the show? That's okay. You can catch it 24 hours a day. This just in. Want your own radio show? Call us at 855-969-RANT. That is 855-969-7268. And you'll become the headline.
We are the Three Guys Rant with Arvin, Mike, and Phil. Coming to you on the Rant Radio Network every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can call us at 855-69 The Three Guys.
It's not the Three Guys. This is why you should turn in, because one has Tourette's. The other one's illiterate.
You really should listen in. You never know what's going to happen.
855-69 3 Guys. G-U-Y-S and the number 3, not the.
Faces for radio, voices for the deaf.
Look forward to talking to you.
Hey, I'm audio candy. I don't know about you guys.
You're listening to the Mommy Talk, a place where mommies,
and don't forget dads,
can share their everyday accomplishments
and challenges y mucho más. So tune in every Friday here at rantradionetwork.com from 11 through 12.
And don't forget to call in at 855-969-RANT. The number is 855-969-RANT.
You can follow us on Facebook at the Mommy Talk Show.
See you then.
Hey, bro, this is a good game. You know what would make it better?
What, bro?
A michelada.
A michelada? What's a michelada?
A michelada is somewhere in the middle of a Mexican Bloody Mary and a Mexican margarita.
Oh, I got you covered, bro.
You got a cup in your pocket?
No, sir. I got my pocket-sized michelada. Mucho macho michelada.
Pocket size?
Pocket size, so you can take it with you anywhere you go.
Where'd you get that at?
At the nearest convenience store, and you can also buy it at muchomachomichelada.com.
You know what would make it better? After we get drunk, if they had a line we could call.
We can call their drunk line. You can leave a message and then log on to the site and listen to your stupidity afterwards.
What's that number?
It's 855-MICHE-69.
What's that number again?
855-MICHE-69.
Awesome. Mucho macho michelada.
Hi, I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez.
And I'm Kelly V. Dolan.
And we are excited to announce our show Live with Aaron and Kelly is on Rant Radio Network. What do we talk about on our show, Kelly?
We talk about everything from entertainment to business and tech, and we have a few laughs in between.
That's right. Go check us out on rantradionetwork.com. That's rantradionetwork.com.
Check it out.
What's up, guys? Sports Guru and Bud Knocker from the Sportscast, Wednesdays, 12 to 2 Pacific on Rant Radio Network.
We got everything you need to know about sports. We got all the latest video highlights. We got You Got Knocked the Fuck Out. We got Bonehead of the Week. We're talking sports, drinking beer, and having a good time.
If you missed the show, go to rantradionetwork.com and listen on demand. So check us out every Wednesday, 12 to 2 on Rant Radio Network.
You're listening to What Honesty Feels Like with Christine Sawicki that airs every Tuesday from 8 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can catch us on rantradionetwork.com. If you're one of the most successful people in the world, I want to talk to you. I want to know how you got there, where you're going, and who you're giving back to. So call me at 855-969-7268 and check in with me, the most successful people in the world.
Welcome to FireHouse Chefs. I'm your host, Eddie Sell, and I will take you on a journey with America's chefs, firefighters, service industry professionals, and more as we discuss food, recipes, nutrition, and lifestyle topics. Stay tuned and enjoy the ride. All right, thanks. Chef Don is doing a little beatbox to Johnny Cash. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, so we're joined by the three amigos, and you're listening to FHC Radio. We are actually expecting a call from one of our Firehouse chefs in Seattle, Michael Poole. And Michael's actually been with us since the inception of Firehouse Chefs. And once he gets on, we'll actually let him discuss a little bit more about his background. So let's see if we can figure some of this stuff out tonight.
Hello, Michael. Are you there?
Michael. Okay, we're having some technical difficulties in the FHC radio studio.
That's what happens when you let a bunch of firefighters and chefs deal with technical
Right?
stuff.
Yeah, luckily we have our producer and engineer, Alan and Arvin, that are walking through right now.
We're having trouble answering a phone.
Here, let me show you how easy that is.
Oh, don't even go there.
Michael, are you there?
I'm here.
Oh, there he is.
Michael.
There he is.
All right.
All right, Michael, you are live on FHC Radio.
All right.
And I don't know if you can actually see us right now. Are you looking at a computer at all, or?
Yes, I do have my computer on. I can't see you. Oh, yeah, I see you.
You see
my
that?
picture, too.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, Michael.
All right,
And then
how you doing?
if you guys are looking at your screen, there's actually Michael's beautiful mug up there right now holding his chocolates. So I was just describing to the folks out there in the FHC community that you have been with me from the beginning, really.
Yeah.
And when I started kind of pursuing Firehouse Chefs and doing my research on people like that around the country, you obviously came up as somebody that had just a great story and a great background. So if you don't mind, let's go ahead and get into, start off with your fire service background, Michael, and then get into your culinary background.
Okay, well, I've been in Seattle Fire for 33 years, and started off back in
There he
about
is. Look at that handsome guy.
1980 as a firehouse cook, and that led into me wanting to start a business. And what I started was a food concession, and I specialized in Jamaican cuisine, Jamaican jerk chicken, curry rice, rice and peas, Jamaican patties, that kind of thing, and I did that for a number of years. From there, I went on to do photo shoot, cater lunches for the photo shoots. Here in Seattle, we have Nordstrom's and Eddie Bauer and Macy's. When they would go on location, I became their most requested caterer and driver. So from that, about 20 years had passed during that, and my kids were grown, and I'd always wanted to go to culinary school, so I decided I was going to go to Cordon Bleu, but I couldn't go and keep my job, so I kept my job, and I took one class for about 4 years. So I'd go to Paris and stay for about 3 months, come back, work really hard, and go back and do that again. During the process, when I came back the second year, one of my fellow students, she's French, she opened a chocolate factory outside of Paris and invited me to come and work for her while I was going to school. So I did that for a couple of years, and that's how I got into making chocolates. And so I still do a little bit of catering, but my main focus is making chocolates.
That's awesome, and we're actually on the screen right now. We have a picture of you holding up some of your chocolates, and I was actually able to travel up to Seattle and do some cooking with Michael at one of his firehouses when I visited Seattle Station 10, and I believe it's Suey at 8's. Is that 8's in Queen Anne, or is that 2's?
Yeah, 8's.
Yeah, 8's. Yeah. And you guys will also be hearing from Mike Sulak, a.k.a. Suey, who actually he is a regular monthly contributor to the Firehouse Chefs blog. And every month on firehousechefs.com, he actually writes a really cool, there's always a cool story, and he always includes a recipe. So Suey and Michael, they have both been there from the beginning, and it's just been kind of great seeing everybody evolve. So Michael actually caters under the Firehouse Chefs name now up in Seattle, but his main focus is the chocolates. So how can people find your chocolate, Michael, and what's the best way to to find out what you have, how to order it, all that good stuff?
Well, I have a Facebook account. Hot Chocolate is the name of the business, and it's
I thought it was Hot Chocolat.
Hot Chocolat without the E, so chocolate without the E.
There you go.
.net, hotchocolate.net.
Okay.
And I have a Facebook account also, Hot Chocolate by Chef Michael D. Poole. And go to the website. You can see all of the different chocolates I have. You can order online. I do have about 6 retail outlets here in Seattle that are currently selling the chocolates also.
That's great.
So,
very cool.
Send me an email, order online, I deliver, and I ship too.
And, everyone could see, and he actually delivers in person. So
if it's a big enough order, I will deliver in person.
Yeah, and you could see Alan went ahead, our engineer, and put up your website up there.
Okay, thanks.
So hotchocolat.net. You could also get to Michael Poole via firehousechefs.com, and he is listed under our chefs tab as well. So that's another spot for that. And the folks in Southern California would be happy to know that you're actually going to be not only coming on as a guest here in the studio, but you're also going to be, is it a competition in October?
Actually, what it is, it's a chocolate show. It's chocolate show and competition.
Okay.
So I did look up all the details, but it's going to be in L.A.
Uh-huh.
I believe it's October 2nd, which is a Sunday, and I'll be sure to email you all the information on that. But, yeah, it's a chocolate tasting. You come in, taste chocolates. They have judges that come randomly. You don't know who the judges are, and they judge for the best chocolates. So
Sounds like a
currently,
horrible
I've
job.
won gold for the best caramel, gold for the best toffee, and gold for the best traditional chocolate. I got some silver and some bronze, but the gold is what counts.
Exactly.
Hey, Chef Michael, Don here. Curious, for someone who went to the Cordon Bleu and with all the opportunities out there, what drew you to chocolate?
Well, I laugh about it now. I went for cuisine. I wanted to improve my cuisine. I was cooking for people that went out to eat all the time. They liked my cooking, and I just wanted to improve. And it wasn't until I started working for my friend in Paris, and when I came back, I added it to my catering, and people were like, well, where can we get these? And I said, well, I just do it for my catering, and, before long, I started boxing them and selling them. And I found that was my passion. So I'm very passionate about making chocolates, the tempering. Most of my chocolates are filled with some kind of ganache, creating new flavors. So I found my passion in making chocolate.
Outstanding. Now, with some of your signature dishes that you do you incorporate chocolate into it? Like if you're doing a sauce?
Yes, I do. I was
Chocolate
with New York, won the firefighter chili championship, and I have a FireHouse chili mix, and I add the mix to one of my chocolates. I call it FireHouse chili, and it's about a 3-alarm, not too spicy, but it's a nice flavor, and it does have a little kick on the end. So that's one of them that I've incorporated. I've also incorporated, I have a lavender chocolate that I incorporated, and a few other flavors.
Outstanding.
That's awesome. And why don't we actually? Michael's not only great at making chocolates, but he actually is an award-winning chili guy. Even though we got robbed in West Hollywood a couple months. That was a couple years ago, actually.
A couple years ago, yeah.
That was an inside job.
Yeah.
That was a complete inside job, and we won't discuss that right now, though.
All
that
right.
was losing sucks. Losing sucks. But
Yeah,
we're really excited to have you representing Firehouse Chefs up in Seattle, and obviously I'm stoked to see what you've done with your chocolate business, and the fact that you are in stores. I mean, that's just incredible. So
I'm very excited, and I'm very happy to be a part of the Firehouse Chef family, and look forward to coming down there.
Oh, we can't wait to have you. And Michael was actually recently in Washington, D.C. as well, so I made sure he was armed with a lot of business cards.
And I got them out, too.
Right? Yeah.
I
So,
passed them out.
And a lot of what we're going to be doing kind of collectively with the Firehouse Chefs team is a lot of the contributors, now that we have some other cool things happening, not only FHC Radio, but we have we're going to have a recurring feature in Firehouse Magazine and Firehouse.com, and collectively they have over 3 million readers, and so that's going to be a great opportunity for Firehouse Chefs. And Michael, Chef Don, all the people that are a part of the Firehouse Chefs team are, going to contribute different articles, recipes, our own personal stories, as it relates to cooking. So that's going to be something to look forward to, and I can't wait to kind of, see your guys' articles myself, because I know every time I read Suey's Beanery, first off, I'm like, man, Suey's got a lot of passion,
He does. I have to say he does.
Yeah, he has a lot of passion, and that's another thing that we want to show people is just the differences of the culinary styles, where, this guy over here might be an avid hunter and fisherman and outdoorsman, and that's the way, he literally, the whole term farm to table, that takes it to, that next level, as opposed to, somebody that kind of grew up in the inner city and, learned cooking in a completely different way. And that's what's going to be great about tuning into FHC Radio every week and seeing those differences for yourself.
Hey, Chef Eddie, Chef Michael, we got about 10 seconds left, and we're going to go to commercial. So, Chef, you keep it safe out there. Be safe on the engine and keep making that chocolate, buddy.
I will. Thanks for having me on the show.
Of course, we will talk to you soon. Once again, firehousechefs.com or hotchocolat.net. Thank you, Chef Michael Poole.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Chef.
All right. Bye-bye.
Don't burn anything down. Firehouse Chefs will be right back.
What up, foodie freaks? It's Chef Bev Lazo with the Culinary Trend Show. Join me and my brigade every Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m. where we will be cooking up some crazy stuff that will give you the appetite for discussion. It's all about the good food, good friends, and good times. Only here on RantRadioNetwork.com.
What's up, everyone? Sports Guru here. Sick of looking at the same old boring websites? Well, check out thenewsportsguru.com for all the hottest trending videos and all the biggest sports news. Become a VIP for only $4.99 and get premium access to everything the Sports Guru has to offer. The beautiful gurus girls, all my biggest sports picks, and much more. So get off that porn site and check out thenewsportsguru.com.
The experts know that for pastry, Baker's Bodega has it all. Exclusive brands like Westco Bankmark, Satin Ice, and Pastry Pride. One-on-one day seminars for cake decorating and gelatin art. So for our service, wide range of ingredients and supplies, and for the low prices, Baker's Bodega has it all. But you don't need to be an expert. Baker's Bodega, 7869 Paramount Boulevard in Pico Rivera. Come, we're waiting for you.
Hi, I'm Alex Alanis.
And I'm Alonso Rodriguez.
And we are Real Estate Rant. Every Wednesday morning between 10 and 11 a.m.
here at the towers of Rant Radio Network.
No problems, just solutions. Be sure to call in with your real estate problems, rants, questions, or comments, and let us try to find you a solution.
Tell us about an experience, good or bad,
and finally bury the hatchet once and for all.
In the world of real estate, find a fresh perspective. There's a lot more than meets the eye.
Help us to ensure the public trust, one rant at a time.
DM Narc Radio Show is now airing on the Rant Radio Network. You've heard the three guys rant refer to us as the Clam Chowder Power Hour. Now we get to bring our New England humor over to Los Angeles. We'll be airing Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 Eastern, and we'll cover everything from local to national politics and news. Guess what? We're uncensored too. I'm Dave. Join me and Nick Friday on the Rant Radio Network.
We're the Brothers Bear Podcast Live, and I'm your host, Sanj, and I'm always joined by
Edgar,
Carlos Madrano, and this is a show where we talk about
comics, movies, TV, video games, stand-up, music, and many more geeky things.
Catch us live on Rant Radio Network on Mondays from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. That's another commercial in the back.
Welcome to Firehouse Chefs. I'm your host, Eddie Sell, and I will take you on a journey with America's chefs, firefighters, service industry professionals, and more as we discuss food, recipes, nutrition, and lifestyle topics. Stay tuned and enjoy the ride. Such a great song. We love you, Johnny. We miss you.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back to FHC Radio, ladies and gentlemen. So part of what we're going to do every week, we're going to basically not only talk about food and all the lifestyle-related categories, but we're actually going to show you some useful kitchen tips and information. I think that's one of the biggest things that the home cooks, they kind of get intimidated by walking into the kitchen and, saying, like, where the heck do I start? So this is going to be a great opportunity to kind of like see some things from chefs, and not only this week, but as I mentioned, in the upcoming episodes, we're actually going to have different executive chefs from different restaurants all over the country. So it's going to be really, really cool, the kind of insight that we're going to get. So what we actually have here at our little demo area, first off, I'd like to thank Jess at FireHouse Boards for the beautiful custom cutting boards that he made for us. And we actually have another one that we use in our prep kitchen every single day, and the wear and tear that it's, I was going to use an analogy that's probably not appropriate for radio, so but it can withstand a lot. How's that sound?
And Jess Hartnett makes beautiful boards. He'll make them for anybody. He's a firefighter. He's a captain down in the city of El Cajon, San Diego County. So
Yep, and we appreciate him doing that for us. So beautiful boards. Thank you once again, Jess. And he's actually making us another one as we speak. So we'll be unveiling that very, very soon. You can actually find his work if you go to firehousechefs.com, click on the partners page. He is one of the listed partners. So the three amigos are actually going to man their battle station here. And what we have is we have different knives that are set out. And again, when I talk about some of the kitchen things might be a little bit intimidating, why don't you guys go ahead and stand up and show folks at home some of the different knives that we have here. And they're actually going to kind of show the proper knife and, how to slice versus dice, that sort of a thing, and kind of get a little bit of insight on that.
We even got a zester up there. There might even show a little zest.
So what Asbel is holding up right now is a chef's knife, and let's see, yep, it looks like we've got the camera on you, so that's perfect. And part of it, just kind of like in firefighting, you want the right tool for the right job. So a chef's knife is going to be a very versatile knife. It's probably going to be the most utilized knife that can do, slicing, dicing, whatever. But when it comes to other things, for example, cutting bread or cutting tomatoes, you'd want to go for a serrated knife, which, do we have a serrated knife? All right. So there, there's a failure to follow directions. So anyhow. So what we will do is show some of these other knives that we have, and kind of some of the proper techniques. Do you guys want to start with the good old-fashioned onion? Okay. So cutting onions. Obviously, you've heard a lot of the just a lot of the stories like put an onion in a freezer, and this is what I'm talking about to prevent the whole your eyes from watering. And I don't care which one they say, none of them work. In my opinion. So it just depends on the onion, whether you're lucky or not. So you can see Chef Caesar cutting the ends off of the onion right there. And the reason why he's doing that is actually so now he has a solid base. And you could see that, by doing that, and that's the same with most vegetables. If you cut the ends off like that, now all of a sudden that vegetable is firm on the cutting board and it's not going to slide, okay? What's that? Right, and I'm just kind of interacting with Chef Asbel right now, who's just talking about to prevent injury. Another trick that is very, very helpful is even just putting a wet towel underneath the cutting board. So basically between the cutting board and the surface area, and what that helps to do is it prevents your cutting board from walking away on you and sliding across the counter. So that's another way to avoid injury. So okay, now the onion is in half now, and Chef Caesar, just you can just go for it if you want.
I'm not worried. Darnell brought his full paramedic kit, so if Caesar misses, we're okay.
And then the one thing that Caesar did before he started slicing there and dicing is to have a sharpened tool. He sharpened his knife before he started, and I think that's a real important thing before you start any slicing or dicing.
Yeah, that's a great point. And it's actually, I don't know if you folks know that, it's actually a dull knife that causes more injuries and cuts than a sharp knife. So that's a great point, making sure that your tools are sharp and your edges are straight and all that other stuff. And we'll actually dedicate another show to sharpening knives and going over some of those techniques, because I think that's something that gets overlooked by a lot of people.
And for those that can see it, Chef, the motion of the knife is actually forward and down. It's forward and down that gets you your nice smooth cut.
Right. It's very, very effective. If you kind of think of it, your knife is almost like a rocking motion. So, okay, and when we see, maybe if we want to go ahead and switch over, let's do a potato next and dice a potato, because you can see the similar type of motion that Chef Don is talking about. So why don't we move on over to a potato. And you can't hear what Asbel's saying. He's not, but what he's talking about right now is the last date he went on, and
it's just as good we don't hear.
Yeah, that's probably better that we don't hear how it went, And
yes, you do want a flat surface to keep that veggie.
You're going to do and the cut that's actually happening now is called the julienne.
Right.
And from there, he's going to move into a dice. And Chef, we're going to do one show on, we're going to repeat this, aren't we? Again, and do a lot of knife skills.
And I just want everyone out there, out in the FHC community, I want you guys to kind of, today's show was a lot of just background, having a good time, learning who the Firehouse Chefs who we are, what we're about, and that every week when you tune in every Wednesday, 8 to 9 p.m. Pacific time, that you're going to have just an amazing time, just kind of, having fun, learning some new things, and being able to kind of call in and be interactive with us and our team. So, yes, we will be definitely repeating it, because there's just a lot of useful information.
Who we are and what we're about, right?
You got it. Since we do not have a serrated knife, why don't we go ahead and demonstrate the paring knife, and you can just maybe core the tomatoes. So Chef Ephraim, why don't we go over some of that?
And what's so simple about this is, while he's getting ready to do the tomato, we start sauteing those onions. And we do a quick boil on the potatoes, drain them real good, throw them together, throw that tomato in, and whether it's eggs or you throw a little meat in, it's the starting of breakfast, brunch, or something for dinner.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, just go ahead and core it and show what a paring knife would be for, basically. So a paring knife is when we're removing the skin from a vegetable, for example, or if you're going to use it. Paring knife is very common for garnishing. And we'll also do a show where we kind of cover making some elaborate garnishes and that sort of a thing. So, yeah, I think Caesar's trying you to get into the camera, which you're good now. We love looking at your back, but yeah, I think right now we'd rather look at the tomato. And then why don't you since we have those red bell peppers, let's go ahead and show the folks at home kind of a trick way to julienne a red bell pepper, and how we discard the seeds and the membrane, which, by the way, with any chilies, and we'll have a show dedicated to chilies, but the seeds, it's actually the membrane has more heat than the seeds, which a lot of people don't know. So, but we'll kind of cover that as well, and we'll go through the different varieties of chilies and what we can do with them.
Do you know a little bit about chilies there, Chef?
You can say that. Yeah, in fact, I know so much that we have our own spices line, which you could find on firehousechefs.com. And again, our spices, they're all inspired by, real chefs, and a portion of our proceeds go back to our charities, including the Wounded Warrior Project, Firefighter Cancer Support Network, the Burn Institute. We also do a lot of things for other local charities, like the LA County Fire Museum, which is dedicated to basically the heritage of the fire service. We've had some great sponsors and great partners that helped us tremendously during the inception of Firehouse Chefs. So we would like to definitely recognize those people. Third Alarm Coffee, who is that's our brother Rich Brocchini down in San Diego County. We also want to thank Jarritos and C2O Coconut Water for their continued support of Firehouse Chefs, and everything that we do. We proudly carry their products on our gourmet food truck in Los Angeles, and soon to be food trucks, throughout the United States. And OCI Barbecue, by the way, OCI Grills is they're an Orange County, California-based company. And Jim over at OCI, they actually teamed up with FireHouse Chefs, and we have a custom barbecue grill that we utilize for certain large events. And so we appreciate all of our partners. And there's a lot to list, so believe me, we're going to get to everybody and everybody's value and input in FireHouse Chefs.
Okay. Well, Chef, we got probably about 20 seconds left. I'd like to thank the three amigos for what they've done, helping us out here tonight.
Yep. And
look forward to next Wednesday.
Yep. Catch us every Wednesday from now on, everybody. FHC Radio every Wednesday, 8 to 9 p.m. on the Rant Radio Network. Watch us on firehousechefs.com. And to Golden State CrossFit, by the way, we're going to be there this Saturday for an event there at Golden State CrossFit. They wanted me to wear this shirt, but it would fit me like a wetsuit. So
we didn't want to see that.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be able to peel it off me. So go to firehousechefs.com, all of our social media, Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. We really, really appreciate you joining our community. We're stoked for the opportunity, and we encourage you to stay tuned every single Wednesday on FHC Radio.
Call us next week with questions. We'll be here.
Thanks a lot for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in to FHC Radio. Catch us every Wednesday, 8 to 9 p.m. Pacific Time by visiting firehousechefs.com and rantradionetwork.com.
You have entered the Twilight Zone.